what's the true state of the economy, or is there more than one true state? I'm going to bring in Moody's chief economist, John Lonski. And John, you're the best man to help me hash through this. So mixed messages on where we are overall. We know we're not back. You know, when someone says, yeah, but we know we're not back, but we've come back further than anyone thought we would at this stage of the game. And the big question is, how much help does Main Street need?
Well, I think Main Street still needs some help, especially if you're in one of those adversely affected industries, you know, restaurants, bars, lodging, and the like. We can say right now with some confidence that the pain, the suffering is highly concentrated in the U.S. economy. It's not broadly based. It's those industries I just spoke about. If we are going to provide assistance, we have to see to it that it is targeted to those most in need.
There's a sense of urgency, right? They let the July 30th, 31st deadline go by. And then, of course, they hinted at something before the election. And now you wonder if we'll get something before the next administration is sworn in, whether it's Trump or Biden. It feels like every day we wait, though, another big chunk of our economy dies permanently.
Yeah, well, the good thing is we got the election out of the way. There's no more need for political grandstanding. The time has come to get the job done as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible.
Well, my conservative friends are always getting upset with me when I say that. I think we need one more nudge. The economy has done extraordinarily well. We've got the V shape, but it's running out of steam. I think one more nudge unleashes all that money in savings from consumers and from businesses. And I think we can have an amazing 2021. What do you say to my conservative friends who say, no, this is backfiring? People are getting paid not to work. It's not going to work.
No, I don't think that's a major problem, that we're discouraging people from working because of unemployment benefits. I mean, what remains the biggest issue of all, we've forgotten to mention this, is COVID-19. If you can get COVID-19 out of the way, the U.S. economy is going to lift off. We are going to be surprised at what the rate of growth would be for 2021. Literally shocked. Man, you will find airports chock full of people. You won't be able to get on a plane.
I know just for me personally, I'm going to every concert, even genres of music I don't like. Hey, I got about a minute to go, though. I want to ask you about the Fed meeting yesterday, because it seems like now Jay Powell, well, it doesn't seem like, in fact, he is focusing more on employment and household spending. He spoke a lot more about that than consumer prices and liquidity. Now, here's my theory, John. I think the Fed senses that consumers, to your point, are going to stop spending without more stimulus. And listen, they're not going to raise rates. I'm pretty sure they're committed to not raising rates until unemployment for blacks and Hispanics get about 4% or less. So how aggressive can the Fed be in this situation?
Well, the Fed's not going to allow fixed rate borrowing costs to rise to levels that might hinder the U.S. economy. They're not going to allow interest rates to rise high enough to hurt the equity market, for one thing. Interest rates have to remain low enough to go ahead and extend this boom we now have in terms of home sales. The only way the Fed raises rates is if financial markets demand that it does so, and that would only happen if the dollar exchange rate tanks. But the good news is the rest of the world, other advanced economies, are doing a lot worse than the United States. So the Fed has plenty of leeway to keep rates low as long as needed.
Right. All right. And, of course, we're looking for something huge in December. They better come through. John, thank you very much.